As you know, here we go chronologically because we have to. So, first thing is we talk about affecting the quarterback. And one of the things I showed on the previous show, it talked about last week, is as good as I think Darrisaw's a good player, a good left tackle, young guy, really good. These guys play each other all the time. Preston Smith always has success. Not always, but he's had success in the past. Affecting the quarterback here. That's a win. That's a sack fumble if he holds the ball for another snap. But you feel the pressure. You get him drifting off the play. And listen, you got a young quarterback in there. This right here, this is going to be an incompletion for these guys. Like they're just not, they're already heated up. He was heating up walking out of the tunnel. He's already thinking about getting hit. Walking out of the tunnel. I mean, this is a big time game for this kid. There's a lot of pressure on him. And it's natural to feel that. So a lot of this stuff just isn't going to go the way you want it to. We talk pre-snap recognition. This is the second. I think they were, not 3 and out, but it was pretty quick out first series. So this is second series. We're talking about pre-snap recognition. So they show down here the safety is going to show up. We got trips left. Everybody's walked. They got 2 linebackers mugged up. When they're in this look right here, they don't have enough people to cover over on this side. Talking about towards the bottom of the screen. So one of these linebackers has to get out to the flat, and they can run some form of cover 2 and have that safety hang on the flat look. But they have a problem, and they're going to sit at the sticks. Now, Jordan Love throws a heater here. I think this is to Dobbs on the stick route. And even though that corner is sitting outside, the way that Dobbs comes back towards the first down marker to get to this ball, we saw this a couple weeks ago, not running into that cornerback, but running away from that quarterback, still catching the ball on the plus side of the 30 for the first down. It's a little wrinkle that doesn't show up, but like that's high football intelligence, right? He can run that thing flat like he's supposed to and run right into the corner and get blown up, or the corner can have a pick, or he can go back towards the line of scrimmage, get the first down, live to fight another day. Same thing here. Harrison Smith's up at the line of scrimmage. He's showing that he's going to go. The first thing Jordan Love does is he checks Harrison Smith. Harrison drops. Now they've got that coverage on this side, so what's he going to do? He's going to go to the other side where the tight end has leverage on the linebacker up top. So all they do is they run an up and out. They run up with the wide receiver. They run a little arrow out with the tight end. Out leveraged. Tucker Kraft, first down. It's just, okay. They go into the game. Jordan, as soon as you get the ball, are they coming or not? If they're coming, throw into it. If they're not coming, look over here. It's not that simple, but it's pretty darn close, and he did a great job of it. We talk about having leverage. What do I mean by that? So they bring Jaden Reed in motion. Now they're going to have a 2x2. But 44, the captain for the Minnesota Vikings, is inside of the X receiver. So as we go in motion here, you see on the 50-yard line, you see the corner playing 8 yards off outside leverage. But because we're going motion, now you're in a situation where the flat player, the flat defender, is inside of both receivers, and all we have to do at the X position is run straight up the field, and you've got flat open because the corner can't get there. And Jordan Love's just doing a great job getting rid of the ball, throwing on schedule, throwing on time, throwing in the right position for his players to catch, turn up field, get an extra couple of yards. It's fantastic. And the other thing is chaos works both ways. And what I mean by that is you got all this stuff happening on the Minnesota Vikings defensive front. They're running all these different combinations. They're running different pressure looks. They're trying to drop into cover 2. They're trying to do all this stuff, okay? But they're not set. They're not ready here at the line of scrimmage. So now they're playing catch up. So it works both ways. This is a key third down throw here. It works both ways. The safety has to drive there because the linebacker isn't in his coverage position because they're not set up yet. This is a this is another Aaron Jones is better than your running back, right? Like this is what I'm talking about. So you kind of watch the outside here, and they have Tucker Kraft, and he did this a lot yesterday. He singled up, single blocked. I think this Tucker or Sims. I'll check on this on the end zone copy, but that is not a good block. Okay, but Aaron Jones is the play speed is so fast that he just can't. The 91 can't get to where he needs to be. I think I have the end zone copy. Look at this. You see it here. Yeah, so Sims is inside. They're doing a double with Rasheed Walker. They do a great job of blunting that and getting up to the second level. Tucker Kraft is all on his own. And let me tell you, usually I would go, this is crazy because I would send Sims outside and let Rasheed Walker be on his own. But they felt that the important because of the way that the Minnesota Vikings run this base defense, they think that the outside linebacker defensive end is going to be wide, so they have a little more leeway with Aaron Jones. He can run outside or he can run downhill. But look at the play speed. So right now, Tucker Kraft's beat. What happens is Malik, the outside receiver, does such a good job covering up the corner. This is how you get reps in the National Football League. You do the dirty work as well as you can. This is such a big time block. He doesn't have to make a cut. He basically is saying, I can 91's facing the wrong direction. I can outrun him. And he can only because the receiver outside 18, Malik, is doing such a good job at covering up the DB. This is just a big time block, man. You want to get on the field? This is how you get on the field. Just drive. Man, it's big time. That is big time. It's fun to watch. We got a 3-1 bunch look up top on the right of the center. And this game could have been worse, man. This is wide open. He just misses this throw. And so as good as he's playing, his numbers were excellent. Could have been better. 24 for 33 for 256 and 3 touchdowns. And you look at the 4th and 1 in this play. We'll show the 4th one in a minute. Easily 4 touchdowns here. And as you end up with a field goal, and what we're doing now is, from a defensive standpoint, is you're just taking advantage of inexperience. And so this is the pick. And the deal is here, this is pretty easy. So they're running the double crosses underneath, right? The 2 shallow crosses. And he sees that Quay Walker's going to go ahead and take a shot on the guy going from left to right. So he goes from right to left. And you can't drift. And this is why I think the announcer said last night that, Kirk Cousins went over and said, there's nothing you can do here. Hawkinson's out of the game. He's not playing. So your backup tight end's in. And one of the key thing is, like, you can't drift in zone. You either sit down or you keep going, right? It's like karate down the right side of the road, karate down the left side of the road. Okay. Down the middle, get squished like grape. Ola Miss Miyagi saying, you got to be all in or all out. If you start drifting, the quarterback doesn't know where to throw the football. So this is just a mistake by the tight end. Quarterback throws it. Easiest pick he's ever going to have. Fantastic. Take advantage. Got to make the plays when they're there to be made. Fantastic. You just see, it's not that he threw a bad football. It's that the tight end has to sit down. But again, not our problem. This is what the Minnesota Vikings are trying to do on defense. Talk about Flores. Right? This is schematically what they're trying to do. So they bring the linebacker off the line of scrimmage, and they drop the safety in the corner on the bottom of the screen, okay? But they're hovering. Why? Because now they feel like they're going to have to get the ball out fast. They ran the orbit motion with Jaden Reed, give the ball to him, and now you got 2-on-1 close down, get a tackle for loss. This is what they're trying to do, okay? This is what they don't want to do, and this is the touchdown play. So they're showing single safety high. Excuse me. Harrison Smith down near the line of scrimmage. I got him circled up. So far, when he's been there, chances are, unless he's manned up on somebody, he's coming. Okay? But one way or another, they're going to have to drop on the backside. So they end up bringing him. And now the linebackers have to drop, and they're trying to take the corner and turn this into cover 2. So they're taking the corner who's on the NFL logo up at the 25-yard line at the top of the screen. They're dropping him back as a deep safety. And then Hicks, 58, who's in the middle of the screen just below the number or the hash mark, he's going to have to play that Tampa linebacker who's really got the middle of the field. And Jordan does a good job of throwing. And listen, Chris Collins, whoever they're talking about flipping your feet are off the ground. Look, what he's doing is he's flipping his hips into the throw so he can throw a rocket, okay, on a line and throws it right over the top of this linebacker. I think I get the end zone look here. So what he sees is because that corner's retreating. Now you got to remember the single safety went over to the left side of the screen here. So there's tons of space in the middle of the field to throw down throw between the hash mark, and all you got to beat is the linebacker, and that linebacker isn't built to deal with your slot receiver. So he just throws a rope, really good throw and catch. That's just big time. A lot of people are asking, okay, are we better off without, Stokes and Zaire and Rasul? No, the answer is you're best off with your best coverage guys, okay, unless you're going to play a lot of cover two. Now, if you're going to play up the line of scrimmage, this is exactly what you want, especially from your young guys. And he misses the tackle here, so I'm acknowledging that. But look at the physical play here. You get there, stack and shed, throw the guy on the ground, force the cut from the spin and the cut from the running back. That is a kid who's trying to be a really good football player and is taking every part of the game that he needs to be good at and trying to excel. You're not just going to be a cover guy. You're not going to be a cover two corner. You're trying to be good at everything you're asked to do, and you have to appreciate that. You want to make the tackle, but you have to appreciate the physical play at the line. Now, again, people are asking me, well, what's different? What's different? The quarterback plays different. He's playing a 4-string quarterback. Last week, he played the number 1 pick in the draft. 3 weeks ago, he played the other number 1 pick in the draft from years ago, Baker Mayfield. That's the difference. This play is indicative of the entire game. So Hill has the ball. Maybe he's got a little bit of pressure. Maybe he doesn't. Okay, it's a 3-step drop. And you can't see the whole play, but listen, Justin Jefferson has our guy beat. If he's even, we're leaving, right? He's beat. This is a bad ball. And in other games, Kirk Cousins comes up with a way to make this happen, whether it's a back shoulder throw, whether he leads them more. Kirk Cousins maybe makes this more interesting. Great stop. You got to be there. You got to make the play on the ball that's thrown. All I'm saying is, a lot of this has to do with you don't have the same quality player throwing the football than you do usually with the Minnesota Vikings. So you're happy to win, but you also don't want to take this information, what you saw last night, and go, oh yeah, this is a huge, they've really taken this huge leap. It's no, the defensive line played a lot better, got him off his spot, and he's not nearly as good as as their starter. Otherwise, he'd be the starter. You see here, ball's not gone. It's a 3-man rush. Ball's not gone. I mean, I'm just looking. I don't know anything, but I do know that up at the top of the logo, you got your tight end open. I know that. So now he's running towards the sideline. When you're playing an inexperienced quarterback who doesn't have a monster arm, somebody whose name, let's say, there's not a household name, this is all you want. If you're a defense, this is really what you want him to do. He's going to throw the ball out of bounds 19 times out of 20 in this. 19 times out of 20, you're not going to get a reception on this play right here. As soon as he starts running towards the sideline with his chest going towards the sideline, not downhill. When I talk about a quarterback escaping and not being able to square up his shoulders, go downhill, this is exactly what I'm saying. I mean, that's almost always an out-of-bounds throw. So it's fantastic. Now we go under center. And this is the difference between – this is A.J. Dillon. And I'm not saying A.J.'s bad. I'm saying Aaron Jones is that good. Here's the difference in play. I'm going to rewind this just to stick here. Okay. So if we're going to look at the right guard, Sean Ryan, okay, he's in. They're going to run a B on the backside. And he's taking an angle. And the Minnesota Vikings, number 40, their linebacker goes underneath, okay? And you see that Josh Myers – has his shoulders turned to the sidelines and is trying to run with Harrison Phillips. And you see we got a kick out by Rasheed Walker, and you see you got a good drive block or some sort of block by Elgin Jenkins, okay? Right here, The hole is between the backside tackle, who was running the B, and Josh Myers. You tuck it, you go straight downhill. Aaron Jones goes downhill, gets a minimum of 4 to 5 yards here. Okay. But AJ takes it all the way back, runs into the backside linebacker, and gets tackled for 1 yard, 2 yards. And that, I mean, that is really the difference when we talk about how do you get AJ better? And also, like, what's the difference between Aaron Jones and a lot of these other backs? Is like right there, you don't go for 2, man, you go for 5. And just put your head down and just go forward. Anytime AJ Dillon turns his shoulders to the sideline, it's usually bad. Bad film session for the Minnesota Vikings defense here, guys. I'm going to show this from 2 angles, okay? We're in the NFL. That should never be a completion. Throwing off your back foot, good recognition by Jordan Love throwing it into space. But why is there space? I mean, when I show this from the other angle, it's tough to believe, right? So this is halfway through the play. My apologies. They ran the orbit with Jaden Reed. Harrison picks him up. The linebacker chases, realizes he's doing the wrong thing. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, you got 2 guys. One's chasing Jaden Reed across the screen, the safety. The other one's covering our slot receiver. Right about here, the guy whose arrow is pointed towards Jaden Reed realizes, oh, I have the entire other half of the field. Whoops. And they just have a miscommunication. We've seen this before from many teams. But oh my goodness gracious.